Okay, what's up guys? I am back with another video for you today. Y'all getting the whole natural look. I have to take headshots after I film these two videos, so you are definitely getting a lot. I just put on makeup and my setting spray. It's all up in my nose. My nose is already running today, so bear with me. So don't come for me about my nose. Just giving y'all a heads up. You know, allergy season plus flu season plus Rona. It's a lot. But anyway, let's talk about episode 10 of season 5 of Real Housewives of Potomac. So, this episode pissed me off, as it did many other people. Now, before I start this whole review thing, I'm going to say that I'm team nobody. Okay? I'm team nobody on this cast. I can honestly say both women were at fault. Candace instigated, Monique aggressed, okay? We can honestly say that from there. That's keeping it a buck. Now, what I'm not going to have is people being disrespectful in these comments. Because I already caught like a couple of y'all on social media, and in my comments in my last video, I deleted y'all, deleted and blocked because y'all don't agree with me. But you know what? Deal with it. Because this is my honest viewpoint and my sane opinion, okay? I don't favor anyone on this cast because so many people have their biases and a lot of people see through the BS that's being thrown around here. We can honestly agree that Giselle is the puppet master of all this, and Candace and Monique went in for the bait. So the way that I'm going to go about this, I'm going by person. So we see the aftermath of this, of the 5 days later. I'm just going to knock Candace's part out of the way. We didn't really see much. We see her basically in the house doing a little flashback. Also, the editors in this episode were doing the most with this editing. You're giving us the horror movie flashbacks. Come on now. Now, basically we see her go to therapy with Dr. Ken. And basically Dr. Ken is basically what, I can't remember her name, but she's the therapist for like Married to Medicine and Housewives of Atlanta. So basically Dr. Ken is the Potomac therapist. Basically, she explains how it went down from her point of view. And when they released the clip early, I was like, okay, she's going to therapy. And I thought she was going to figure out how she contributed to her part. But she took no accountability. I would have been on Candace's good side. Candace would have been on my good side if she had accepted the fact, like, okay, I played a part in that as well. Mind you, I do not agree with Monique putting hands on her. But the thing is, both these women have been building up this tension for months, okay? What they should have done is have the sit-down conversation as grown women instead of letting it escalate to this point. Now, if Candace had said, like, okay, I understand how I played my part into this whole build-up, that's fine. We would have been here for on that. But the thing is, she feels like she's done nothing. Even though she was the one happy off the wine, basically saying, oh, this, that, and the third, poking the bear. And I can't agree that Monique misplaced her anger for the whole thing with the rumor involving Charisse onto Candace because she was with Charisse by association, and she did feel betrayed there. But at the same time, Candace, you got to take accountability for it. I'm sorry, my makeup just came off. Like, you are someone that can bark but don't bite. You talk so much crap to everyone and be instigating. Like, you really cannot take accountability for yourself. Oh my goodness, it got on my nose. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm readjusting my makeup. And I have the ring light right here, so that's why you're getting like a different sunset tone. But anyway, that was really all we saw with Candace. Now, Monique comes up with the whole idea of this meeting to basically apologize to the ladies and get her side out. Because, in all honesty, we know they're not going to give her that same opportunity. Basically, she calls in Karen. Karen is remaining neutral in the fact because these are two women that she is friends with. She's not taking either of their sides. She's holding both of them accountable. She lets Karen calls Candace and gives her a heads up on it. And Candace just goes in and basically is like, how can you extend her that grace? She's just dangerous. Listen, Candace, you're the last person to be calling someone dangerous with the way that the rest of the season is going to play out, especially in the finale. But we'll talk about that later. Basically, Karen gets the meeting together. Giselle comes with her own personal security, which is doing the absolute most. Okay. And then when, Robin and Wendy come, Ashley comes with Baby D, and I'm like, Ashley, you couldn't leave him with Michael? The baby does not need to be here for this. My God. And before Monique even gets there, the women already start arguing. And then they push the narrative of how this is misrepresentation of black women. Listen, no one's looking for representation on a reality show. That's one. Two, you cannot put the weight of an entire race on one person. Like, literally, it irritates me so much. And Wendy was the one pushing it the most. And Wendy, I liked you, but now you remind me of why there's such a division in the African-American community, because y'all love to push the narrative that y'all honestly look down on other people, specifically African-Americans. Y'all love to look down on them. Now, you did it on the trip, strike one with me, okay? You were pushing that a lot. Strike two was when you were doing this whole black woman narrative, okay? It really irritated me. And then Robin had the nerve to bring up Monique being a bad representation for her daughter. Robin, you are the last person to be talking about that. You think you're representing your sons? But you're basically living with your ex-husband. You're shacking up together after your divorce. Don't know what the hell your relationship is. You have horrible financial decisions. Y'all lost your house so many times. And then we're going to find out about you owing the IRS money. So, miss me with that BS. What example are you setting for your sons? And Giselle, first of all, why are you telling your kids your business? This is grown folk talk. Why are you telling this to your children? Like, do you have no other friends? This is just sad. Children should not be knowing this. No. Also, in the confessional, she's talking about how her and Jamal have an image to protect. Giselle, you are emulating the stereotype that you are not here for. You are a now 50-year-old woman going back to your cheating ex-husband who not only cheated but had side babies on you. There's like, your father said it yourself. He has 6 or 7 baby mamas, okay? There's like an 8th baby mama that we're still waiting to get verification on whether that baby is his or not. But that's for a whole nother story. And another thing, who's talking about Jamal's image? Jamal's image, him basically shacking up and knocking out members of the congregation, him being the pastor of New Birth, okay? New Birth, the same place that Bishop Eddie Long was a pastor to, who did the most disgusting and vile things to little boys. The pastoralship that Jamal took over. Let me tell you something. I'm from Atlanta. That whole scandal, when that came out, oh girl, that was just a stain on the black church. That put a whole stain on the black church, okay, when that whole thing with Bishop Eddie Long came out. Like, it just proved some messed up stuff that be happening in the church. Like, Greenleaf just gave us a little bit of an intro to that. But child, that whole Bishop Eddie Long thing, that just put a stain on the black church, okay? So I don't give a I don't want to hear a damn thing about you and Jamal having an image to protect. Y'all image that you're showing here, the judgmental high horse, is the exact reason why people do not F with the church, especially the black church, okay? And me being a practicing Christian, I have not been back to my church in almost a year because of the shit that was going on over there, okay? Excuse my language. My God. Okay, now I'm almost 10 minutes in. Let's get into this whole discussion. So Monique finally gets there. She gets her side of the story. Basically, Wendy, Giselle, and Robin had already made up their minds. They are not buying it. Wendy had the most to talk about. I'm like, Wendy, you just got here. Like, right, and then this morning, you're going to tweet saying that you talked to both Monique and Candace before the meeting. And from what Monique said, you were completely calm. You were talking neutral. But then at this meeting, you're basically flipping the script. You're flip-flopping. Basically, you're calling her out. You just met this person. You're going off of what Candace has told you. Like, you haven't watched the last 3 seasons to know what Monique has been going through on this show. She's literally been poked and poked like they're poking the bear at her. Again, I'm not trying to be Team Monique or Team Candace or anything. I am just going off of what I have seen so far with this show. Now, with Karen and Ashley are both neutral. They both held her accountable, and really, Ashley said something smart. She said, how come we have to hold women to a standard but not men? And that's a good point. It also plays into the fact that every other housewife show has had these women fighting. We've seen it on Jersey. We've seen it on Orange County. We've seen it on Beverly Hills at one point. We saw it on Miami. We saw it on New York. And the thing is, you cannot make... And Karen said this before the episode aired yesterday. She said that the women on this show represent themselves and not every black woman in the world. And I need y'all to remember that, because this ain't all of us. That's a certain amount of people. Y'all, what you're emulating right now is bougie black folk that think they're above everybody. And that irritates the hell out of me. And so basically, Giselle over here taking notes, basically trying to list off all the stuff that Monique has done. And I'm like, Giselle, you were over here cussing out Candace, ready to like lay a hand on her. And then Robin, weren't you ready to fight Ashley 2 seasons ago in the middle of her restaurant? Because she was talking something about Juan seeing somebody else, which most likely he was. And then the whole thing with you instigating Monique with the umbrella. We got the tapes, y'all. We got the tape. We go on Hulu and watch the old episodes like I did yesterday, because the evidence is there. So Giselle leaves, and, you know, basically Monique gives her account of things. You know, she says she doesn't feel remorse. It's 5 days after the fact. Now, a year later, does she feel remorse? Yes. 5 days ago, when it's still like fresh, most likely not. And the thing is, did y'all want her to lie? And my thing is like, if you weren't going to hear her fully out, what was your point of coming there in the first place? What was the purpose? What was the point? And, you know, Karen was a good mediator in this fact, because not only was she like the main person kind of guarding Monique, she also held Monique to task when it came down to it. And Giselle, her facial expression during the whole thing is like, you don't even want to be here. What was your point of hearing her out? Like, it's evident you want her out of this show. Like, there was no purpose for you being here. And, you know, basically, it was the end of that meeting. Robin and Wendy was like, what the F are we doing here? You know, she almost had me, but the crying, I'm just like, both of y'all are trash. And honestly, I'm sorry, y'all have to sneeze. Whew. I got, whew. One more. Whew. Okay, so y'all, sorry, my video is so unedited today. I have so much to do this week. Basically, I realized last night that Robin is the Telly Mellencamp of this franchise, because she has no other storyline other than her and Juan. She's gonna have some storyline with the whole IRS tax thing. When I tell you I laughed at that, I was like, ooh. They actually got this while y'all were shooting. Look at the irony. And I don't want to hear no, you know, let's give her sympathy during this time. Y'all did not extend that grace to Karen when her and Ray had that tax stuff. I don't want to hear no give me sympathy crap. No, 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 no. And so, let's get into the mid-season trailer. So the trailer for the rest of the season basically shows we get a group trip. We see Karen and Wendy summer off out again. We see Ashley dealing with trying to forgive Michael. There's some paranoia on the trip that he might be stepping out again. Probably is. Then we have Jamal flaking on Giselle. We have Juan having second thoughts. Well, we know the second thoughts aren't that because they get engaged at the end of the season. And basically, the rest of the season is going to be the whole... It's going to be Candace pressing charges against Monique. And then Monique pressing her charges. And then it's basically going to be Candace telling people to pick their sides. And the thing is, Karen is going to be neutral in the fact. And from what we see in the trailer, Candace is bent on suing Monique. A couple of the ladies are surprised by that. I'm like, did you want her off the show? So why would you care if she's pressing charges? So it's just like you're flip-flopping here. Like, you wanted this so bad. You wanted this girl to get full-on crucified and want her out of this group. But then you want to side-eye pressing charges. So basically, from what this season's showing, it's going to show Candace wanting to get revenge, basically. Because from Watch What Happens Live last night, Monique said that she had contacted one of the producers asking for them to have a sit-down together with producers and their husbands. And not even an hour later, her lawyer was emailing her saying that Candace has pressed charges. So, I don't know if the rest of the season is going to be in Candace's favor. I don't think so. Because she gets mad. And first of all, Robin basically is posturing again because Ashley was asked by Monique to write a statement for her. Now, y'all are getting it all confused because Ashley wasn't there to see the fight. There's a difference between a character statement and a witness statement. The witness statement is when you see the actual altercation happen and give your viewpoint of what happened. What Ashley is doing is a character statement. She is going to be writing on Monique's behalf and basically give a whole backstory up to this relationship and what has pushed it to the point where it escalated to the actual fight. Okay, y'all, I'm a law major, so I know the differences between that. And plus, I'm also in a policing class right now, so I know the difference between that. Basically, we get that Robin being a pot stirrer, saying that, you know, that Ashley was doing this to get back at Candace. I'm like, for what? First of all, Ashley and Candace, they just got good. They just got good. Second of all, Ashley is Monique's friend, so she is going to back her up. Y'all already choosing her sides. Karen's being neutral, in fact. So Ashley is going to back Monique up because that's another mom. And she doesn't want to see another mom go to jail. So, I'm sorry, y'all. So then we get the clip of what is going to be the season finale. I hope it's a two-parter and doesn't end off right at the fight. Basically, from what we heard initially in the reports was that the husbands were fighting. We then see that Ashley and Candace are going to be fighting, and it's going to be White Chris and Michael ended up fighting. So basically, it's going to be a mess. Now, from the tea that was dropped this morning, Candace is going to not only fight Ashley at this Christmas party, but also Karen. Now, if that's the case, then Candace, you are just as dangerous, if not more. Also, this reunion better be in person because there's so much to go into. Now, do I believe these two women can mend their stuff? I honestly don't think so. You have one person that's willing to take accountability in their part, and then the other person is not wanting to take any accountability in their fact. That's just how it is. And I was watching JJ Ricky Sky's live. He reviews all the Housewives shows. And the fact that this is probably something that the group cannot come back from. It may end with one of them leaving the show. And if they do both stay and cast members say like, hey, we don't want to film with them, the show will suffer. Because here's the thing. A lot of people see through the mess. They see how both women were in the wrong. But the rest of the cast reaction to it is something that they're not here for. And so, honestly, I feel like they could have sorted this all out with a sit down. And because that's what Portia and Cynthia did when they got into their fight. The problem is that Candace took the ears of her mother and went to the attorneys instead of having what you're supposed to do on Bravo and have a sit down and sort them out. Because Bravo does not want to deal with legal. They do not want to do that. And so I would not be surprised if production shows Candace in a vengeful light that the rest of the group is probably not here for. And I feel like if this is not settled or mended, it's going to put a bad taste on the show. Because a lot of people characters really showed on that front, and the response by the audience is not great. Whew, so that's pretty much all I got to say on that. Let me know in the comments how you felt about this episode, this whole altercation, and this whole season, what you're looking forward to, what do you expect. Also, a main question, who do you think is going to come back next season, just cast-wise? Because I already got my picks. I'm going to save it for like later in the season. Oh yeah, also, I don't know how many episodes we're getting since we're so late into the year. Because I know we're probably not going to get Atlanta until next year. We're going to get Salt Lake next month and Orange County next week. So those are the two that are going to be there for the winter right now. Basically, I don't know if there has 16 or 18 episodes. But from my calendar calculation, we probably won't get this reunion till December. Meaning they'll probably film in November. So, whew, it's just a mess. Rona done messed up the whole TV schedule. Like, honestly. But that's my thoughts on that whole thing. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.